Next question is from Keane, who asks, do you still keep in touch with your childhood friend Dominic Scott?
Actually, we saw Dom recently, actually it was probably a while back now, at Brendan Benson's show, which was nice. Just happened to both be there. So yeah, we do. I think Tim's in touch with him a lot more than I am. But yeah, we do still see Dom, and he has a few musical endeavours on the go, which I think you should Google and check out.
Next question from Mathus. Have you ever thought about doing a side project like Tim and Jesse did? Have you ever thought about playing drums for anyone else or anything?
I have played the drums in the Mets, Jesse's band, and that was a lot of fun. And I have actually been asked to do something that I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen yet, so I'm not going to say what it is in the next few weeks. But I just enjoy playing the drums, so I'll quite happily, sit in for someone if I'm asked. So yeah, it's a fun thing to do.
Stephanie asks, what's the strangest thing you've ever witnessed while performing? Like somebody running on stage, or I don't know, I suppose when you're at festivals you can see quite a lot going on in the background.
Yeah, what have I seen? When we did the Oxygen Festival a few years ago, someone had made they'd found a huge piece of cardboard, and they'd obviously found some paint, and they had painted "Shut Up, Keane" on it, and there was this, and it was one of those festival sites where there's a sort of walkway halfway back that sort of curved around in front of the stage, and this person just held up this huge sign and just walked from left to right, and then sort of disappeared slightly weirdly, and afterwards one of the security guards sort of came up and gave us this sign and was like, and I was like, what did they do to the guy? I was looking at him for bloodstains or something. But I just thought, if you're going to inspire that creativity in someone, even if it's in a sort of negative way, then that's pretty cool. So I didn't mind that at all. It was quite, and it was so big that I could see it, and I saw him quite early, and I just saw this thing kind of go like that over the course of about 2 or 3 minutes. It was hilarious.
That's amazing. Next question from Stefan. Simple question: what do you think of Mount Desolation?
What do I think of them? I love it. I think it's great. I've got a copy of the record. I already showed it in the live questions. But yeah, I've been listening to it for months because luckily they gave me the files before it was mixed and everything.
Do you have a favourite Mount Desolation song?
I think Annie Ford is brilliant and sort of really sort of heartbreaking, and the State of Our Affairs is amazing. Bridal Gown is just utterly heartbreaking. I love it, honestly. There are some really great songs on there, and they had a lot of fun making it. And like I said in those questions earlier, I almost got to be on it, but for a car crash, I would have been on their record. Shit.
Sorry. Jazz from Argentina says that if she's not wrong, or if he's not wrong, I'm not sure, you were a teacher once.
Yes.
Correct? They'd like to know what you were like in front of class.
Oh, I was rubbish. Oh my god, I was terrible. I always liked the kids who misbehaved because they always really made me laugh. It was very difficult trying to keep a straight face. I only ever did supply teaching, to be honest, and I was rubbish at it, but it's a really hard job, and I wouldn't want to do it again for all the tea in China.
Irvine in California, where is the best espresso you've ever tasted?
Blimey. There's a few places. Stumptown are amazing. There's a Stumptown in New York, and there's one in Portland. I'd say it was probably the coffee at Stumptown in Portland, Oregon, that really first made me think, wow, this is amazing. This is way better than that stuff you get everywhere else, and that's what kind of got me into it. So yeah, probably Stumptown.
Lindsay in Michigan would like to say, what's the one personal item you cannot go on tour without? Drumsticks.
Well, drumsticks someone else tends to look after. I think I would really miss my camera now if I didn't have just a camera. It doesn't have to be a fancy one, just any old camera, just to record what we're up to. It's a really great way of helping you remember all the things, the details of the places you go.
Receiver would like to know if there's a country or city that you've never been to that you'd really like to go to.
Oh, there's loads. I mean, I've been to Lima Airport, but I haven't been actually out of the airport. So I'd love to go to Peru, and I'd love to go to Bolivia.
There's a lot of demand for
Ecuador
a Keane gig in Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, I really would love to spend a lot more time in South America. I'd love to go to Malaysia and, back to Singapore and really tour that part of the world, back to Bangkok, and get a chance to actually spend some time in Thailand. I've got a friend who works for Reprieve, an anti-death penalty charity, who's now based in Thailand, and I would love to go and visit and get a chance to see what is clearly an amazing country and an amazing part of the world. So Indonesia and Vietnam and Cambodia, and I'd love to be able to spend some time over there.
Angeli Taff would like to know if you got the chance to practice what you learned with geography. How would you do that? What field would you focus on? Is it?
I think I'm very pro science, and I'm very sort of pro doing something about climate change, and so I think if that's probably a reflection of the fact that I used to that I studied geography, because that's very sort of science based, and so I don't know, maybe something to do with that. But to be honest, I think if I wasn't doing Keane stuff, I think I'd probably try and do more stuff where in the world of human rights, because that's probably my number one thing that I think sometimes you can spread yourself too thin. So I guess that's why I'm sort of focusing on death penalty stuff at the moment.
Leonella from Argentina would like to know how your kittens are.
They're cats now. They're pretty big. They're fully grown. They're over 2. So Archie's just over there, but I don't know where Pitney is. They've got some cat bowls with their names on from some people in South America, which they now eat out of. So that's pretty cool.
Amazing.
But yeah, Archie's just asleep over there.
Sue Red would like to know if you sleep okay with all that coffee you drink.
I don't actually drink that much coffee. I tend to have 1 or 2 cups in a day, and I sleep just fine, thank you.
Nice that they're concerned. Laura would like to know if you remember what your first camera was and when you got it.
Yeah, my first camera. Well, I was at school, so I used to use whatever they had, and then my mum and dad and my grandparents all clubbed together, and they got me a Pentax P30 when I was about, a teenager, and so I used to take lots of black and white photos of that I could then develop at school.